The next question is an interesting question from banking practice. This we have come across in our day-to-day banking. The question is, a check with an impossible date, say 31st February 2016, is presented on 5th March 2016 across the counter for cash payment. The check is dated 31st February. You know, February has got only 28 days or 29 days in the leap year. It can never have 31 days. But this check is dated 31st February 2016 and is presented across the counter for cash payment on 5th March, that is 5 days after the end of February. What the bank should do? If the check is otherwise in order, the depositor has enough money, the check is drawn properly, otherwise everything is okay. The only defect in the check is it is bearing an impossible date. What should a bank do? The options given are: return the check as it has an impossible date, pay the check on any day without reference to the date of the check. The third option is pay the check on any day after the impossible date. Fourth option is return the check and ask the payee to present the check through his bank. These are the various 4 options. The correct answer is option 3. Pay the check on any day after the impossible date. You must understand, a check bearing an impossible day, because it is an impossible day, by itself it does not invalidate the check. But you must pay the check subsequent to that impossible day. For example, here the check is made payable on 31st February. Suppose this check is presented on 25th February, you should not pay it, because post-dated checks cannot be paid. Even though it is an impossible date, it is a post-dated check. When you are in 25th February, it should be returned. But after 25th February, on 5th March, even though it is an impossible date, the dryer had issued the check in the month of February. It may be an impossible date, but he has issued it in the month of February. So any date after February you can pay. For example, on 5th May you can pay the check. And merely because the check has an impossible date, it does not by itself invalidate the check. The check, if it is otherwise in order, must be paid not before 28th February, but after month of February, within the validity period of the check. The next question is, an average citizen cannot open a savings bank account in which of the following? There are 4 options: commercial bank, post office, cooperative bank and RBI. The answer to this question is RBI. Reserve Bank. Why? Reserve Bank is not a bank. Please understand. Many students who are appearing for this bank exam, they are suffering from lot of mistaken notions about Reserve Bank of India. Please understand, Reserve Bank of India is not a bank. It is only a regulator. If you join Reserve Bank of India, you will be part of the regulator. You will not be having the enjoying the thrills and pleasures of commercial banking. Reserve Bank is a regulator's job. It is to be like if in a cricket, it is like umpire. Umpire cannot play. However interesting the game is, he cannot be part of the players. Only players can play, and there various kinds of balls are there. He has to bat it, and enjoy and thrill of it is for the players. So commercial banking, I am a commercial banker, so I always advocate people to become commercial bankers, because in commercial banking only you have a lot of thrills and the great scope of dealing with the customers face to face. These are the 2 advantages of commercial bank. In Reserve Bank, of course, it's a very responsible job, very powerful job, but you will be only regulating the banks. You will not be directly dealing with the customers. You will not see a savings bank customer. Nobody can open a savings bank account with Reserve Bank, because Reserve Bank is a regulator. Only banks are allowed to have their accounts with RBI and not public. Reserve Bank is not a bank. It is the regulator of banks. The next question is, largest shareholder in percentage of shareholding of a nationalized bank is whom? The options are RBI, NABARD, LIC, Government of India, IBA. We have already seen in public sector banks, government is holding more than 50% of the shares of that public sector bank. It is Government of India, not Reserve Bank of India. It is the Government of India who is holding more than 50% of the shares in public sector banks. Therefore, the answer to this question is option 4, Government of India. Because majority stake, that is more than 50% of the shareholding of public sector banks, is held by the union government. The next question is, again another question from practice. Check dated subsequent to the date of its issue is called what? Today I issue a check, but it is dated 1 month after today. That such a check is called what? Such a check is called a post-dated check. When can a post-dated check be paid? Is it an offense to issue a post-dated check? First I would like to ask a question. Is it a criminal offense? Some students used to ask me, sir, why should a person issue a post-dated check? It is a criminal offense. It is not a criminal offense. Any person can issue a post-dated check. What is the meaning of a post-dated check? The drawer of a check is giving an instruction to the bank, please honor the check on or after this date. When he writes a post-dated check, it is a very clear direction to his bank that such a check shall be honored on the date that appears on the face of the check or any day after it within the validity period of the check. It cannot be honored before that date. Therefore, merely because a check is a post-dated check, it acquires no criminality or no defect. It is a valid check. A post-dated check does not become invalid simply because it is post-dated. It is only how we have to interpret a post-dated check. It is the direction issued by the customer to his bank that the check shall be honored on the date that is mentioned in the check or any day after that date within the validity period. Therefore, a post-dated check is a very valid check. Okay. Now, suppose I will ask you another question. Instead of writing the date 2 months after or 1 month after, I write on the face of the check, instead of today, I write 1 month backwards. I backdate it. Does it make it invalid? No, it does not make it invalid. Such a check is called what? Such a check is called antedated check. Both antedating and post-dating by itself does not make a check invalid. An antedated check also can be honored from today because it is dated 1 month from today within the validity period which should be measured from the date of the check. Whatever is the date, from that you add 3 months, within 3 months, from today, suppose the 1 month has expired, within 2 months, you can honor the check if the check is otherwise in order.